Well, 2019, I do the first sit-down interview with Keefe D.
Mm-hmm.
Keefe had just released a book, and my interview was based on his book, along with all the other people I spoke to and the other interviews I did around the story. And this was the first time you actually got to see someone who was in the car that killed Tupac tell the whole story, from how he was affiliated to this whole situation, what led up to it, as it happened, and what happened afterwards. And it was kind of shocking to the whole world to kind of hear this. Did you watch parts of it when it came out?
Keefe D?
Yeah.
No, I don't listen to him.
You don't want to listen to it?
Bro, if it was that profound, why would they arrest him 27 years later? If he had every detail of this murder, if he had every aspect of knowledge to what happened, what occurred, why would they arrest him 27 years later?
Well, I interviewed Greg Kading as well. And he was the one that gave Keefe D the proffer agreement.
Yes, he did.
You know the backstory of how he got the proffer agreement?
No,
Okay,
I don't.
So I'll explain it to you. So what happened was they found out about Keefe D and his alleged involvement and so forth. And they basically had Keefe D on a big PCP manufacturing case. So there was enough PCP that they found on him that would give him like 25, 30 years. Mm-hmm. So they approached him at his home and they said, look, we can make this PCP case go away if you cooperate on the Tupac murder. And they offered him a proffer agreement, meaning that whatever he says in that room on that day can't be used against him. So he laid out the whole story of what happened. They also made him wear a wire and go out to New York because allegedly the gun they got was from Eric Von Zip, who was an affiliate of Diddy and, knew Diddy's father and so forth.
Allegedly.
Yeah, Eric Von Zip didn't cooperate with this whole, knew that he was probably wearing a wire, so that never happened and so forth. And ultimately, when Greg Kading retired, he released the audio recordings of Keefe D talking about certain segments. Mm-hmm. So when I got wind of this, I knew somebody who knew Keefe D. He came in, he did the interview, and we put out the whole story. And Keefe continued to do interviews with other people.
Too many.
He did Art of Dialogue. He did Camp Capone. He came back and did Vlad TV again.
Right.
And, look, my goal was not to put Keefe D in prison. My goal was to get the real story out.
But you let him talk, and he put himself in prison.
He talked.
Too much.
Years ended up passing. And then, this was 4 years later, in 2023, Keefe D gets arrested for the murder of Tupac Shakur. When you found out about the arrest, what did you think?
About time. It took so long.
Did it bring any sort of closure in your mind?
No, none whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
You just bring closure in identifying the patsies who were involved, as far as I'm concerned. And I don't really want to get into detail of what I believe. I don't think that's conclusive.
Well, you're not planning on attending the Keefe D trial when it happens.
No. Somebody wanted me to. I don't like circuses like that.
If Keefe D ultimately gets convicted of the murder of your son, would that bring any sort of closure?
No.
None at all?
Not at all, brother.